Happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome into the Lindsay Beckham Show. Feels like a Monday,
So feels like a Monday.
but Morgan is here. So that means it is Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yes. So happy Tuesday, everyone. We are live, coming to you live from Flora, Mississippi, the heart of Flora and the Cotton Exchange Plaza from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. Morgan, of course, knows a few things about that place.
I
You,
sure do.
you guys, let me just tell you. So, 10 weeks ago, I walked into Women's Wellness. My blood pressure was about 170 over 120.
I was concerned.
My vitamin D levels were the lowest they'd ever
In the
seen in the clinic.
dirt.
My heart rate was through the roof,
Yep.
and I was quite overweight, the biggest I've ever been in my life. Today, my blood pressure is perfect.
Yes.
My heart rate is down. My vitamin D levels are up. And I am, I want to say 30 so bad. It's 29 as of this morning, 29 pounds lighter in 10 weeks,
That is so
Morgan.
amazing. And that just shows that you were the perfect picture of a metabolic syndrome.
Yeah.
Like you had the trifecta going on here with your blood pressure and all the things. And that just shows that sometimes it's metabolic. It's not lifestyle. It's not, you know, it's impressive to see how certain medications can just tweak the metabolism and all the things just fall in line.
You fixed me. I'm forever indebted. I am forever grateful because you fixed me. And so, I say this all the time, and I know people probably get tired of hearing me say it, but we as moms don't take the time to make sure that we are okay because we're so worried about everybody
Oh,
else and
yeah.
making sure everybody else is okay. And then we just kind of we go by the
Yeah,
wayside.
right.
And I know you're probably going to kill me for this, but
I know.
um, Morgan, as we said this last week, but you just finished nurse practitioner
Yes,
school.
I did.
And I just want to say that the crew that you work with at Women's Wellness, they are some amazing people. Kim Davis is a nurse
Mhm.
practitioner there, and Brittany, who's your nurse. But
Yes.
but there were some things posted on your Facebook, and I want to read them
Oh, goodness,
because
okay.
I think it's so sweet. So Kim wrote, there are people in this world who quietly redefine the word strength just by living their lives, and this girl is one of them. Congratulations, Morgan, on passing nurse practitioner boards today. So you passed your board.
Yes, yes, I'll tell you that story in a minute.
I'm so ready for you to be able to sign chart notes. Your achievement is something to be proud of, but the road you've walked to get here makes it nothing short of extraordinary. And Brittany said, we are so proud of our girl. You did the dang thing. Introducing your new nurse practitioner, Morgan Charleigh. You are such an inspiration to so many. And you had some other comments too that I thought were really good. Proud is an understatement. You are now a nurse practitioner. You've been wanting this for so long, and so many obstacles have tried to stop you, but you bulldoze through them with a smirk on your face. You're truly an inspiration, and I'm so proud to see the woman you have become. You've had to wear many hats in this lifetime, good and bad, but I think this one is a keeper. Congratulations, and I'm so ready to be your patient.
Yeah, so
So,
sweet.
so many
You're so
sweet
sweet.
things, and the one thing that I keep seeing over and over and over is that you had so many struggles along the way, and you're an
Yes.
inspiration, Morgan, because you never gave up. You are a single mom
Yep,
who's been through a lot of tough things,
that's right.
and look at what you've done.
Yep, and I
Congratulations.
just can't tell, like, anybody who's listening, mom, not mom, whatever, like, I started I started this venture of becoming a nurse practitioner, like, as a single mom with 4 kids, working full time, and I've had to, reinvent myself a lot
Yeah.
through my adulthood. I started out as a nurse and loved that, and then had, multiple kids, and back then I had a husband that worked out of state, so I was pretty much single mom with them, and I couldn't keep up with the clinic hours and that kinda thing, and I had, like, 3 under 3, so one gets sick, the next gets sick, the next gets sick, and
Right,
it's this constant, like, "I can't make it in today again," and
right,
we're then all of a
exactly.
sudden, all 3 of them have gone through the same virus or whatever, and then it's,
It
like,
starts back
2
over.
weeks of being out of work, and so I had to leave nursing for a while, and I was like, "Well, what am I gonna do now?"
Mhm.
And I actually got my Mississippi State tattoo license and started doing cosmetic tattooing, and so that required a 9-month apprenticeship in a tattoo shop. I met some people that I would have never met, and it was such like, I always talk about how God just puts you in certain places and things, but, like, that was just such a character building and just I don't know, I can't even explain it, but, like, just to say, like, I did a 9-month apprenticeship in a tattoo studio. Like, that I don't look
Yeah.
like I did that.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
And then I, had my own studio doing cosmetic tattooing for years, and then Doctor Walker found me, at Women's Wellness and everything and went back to nursing, and I got a little glimpse of what nurse practitioner could mean for me in that
Kids are a little older.
setting,
Kids are a little older now,
and
made it
just
a little more feasible.
yes, they were, and just the setting, it made it doable because it's such a family-oriented clinic. We have a whole family clinic downstairs at
And y'all
New
support
Care.
each other. It's a
Yeah, and it
team
was
that
just
supports you and believed in you.
I'll never forget him asking me, "Don't you wanna be a nurse again?" When he met me and learned that I was a nurse and everything else I'd done, and I was like, "Well, I mean, maybe, but, like, I still have all these dang kids, and, like, I and they're still gonna get sick, and, like, I just don't know how that would work," and he was like, "Well," and at this time, we had joined, me and the boys downstairs at New Care, as patients, and he was like, "Well, when they get sick, you have to take them to the doctor." I'm like, "Right," and he's like, "Well, I'm their doctor," and I was like, "Fair enough," and he was like, "Come
Touche.
here, let me show you this conference room," takes me upstairs, and he's like, "Carpeted conference room, and it's got the TV," and he's like, "When they're sick, you just bring them to work,
Isn't
like,
that
just bring them up
amazing?
here," and so it made it to where I was able to get back into nursing, and then I met Kim, and, she's the main nurse practitioner at Women's Wellness, and just watching her treat patients and how she treats patients, and I was like,
She's so
I
incredible.
could do this. I could do this." Like, and so they were both so encouraging and just allowed me to have that opportunity, and yeah, so, made it through the 2 years. I did the UAB program, and, it was funny because I graduated beginning of August, and I was gonna be taking my boards, and Kim was so nervous for me, and she was like,
She's so sweet.
I know, and she was like, "You need to study for, like, 3 weeks before you take your boards, and you need to take off work, like, you need to put a block around, like, lunchtime for, like, an hour and a half to, like, 3 hours a day and go to the public library and study," and I was just thinking to myself, I was like, "I've never done that a day in my life, like, through all of this, I don't even know how I would study for an hour and a half to 3 hours a day, like, I don't know what I would do," and so I didn't lie when I said it, because when I said it, I was planning on taking my boards in the middle of September. And the more I looked at it, I was like, we're not gonna we're not gonna study. Like, I'm probably as smart as I'm ever gonna be, right? I mean, there's only so much can go in. I was like, let's just go do it. Let's just go take the boards. Well, I had to tell our nurse because I wasn't gonna be there
Uh-huh.
this last Friday, and I did not tell Kim because I was like, "She's gonna be so stressed out for me." And so and then I wanted it to be kinda like a surprise for her because I was like, you started all this, and I'm like the little flower that you've been watering and watering, and I just kinda wanted to, like, do it and surprise you, and you'd be like, "Oh my gosh, here's the flower." And
It's
so
bloomed.
yeah, so I didn't tell her until after I took my test, and I got the preliminary pass, and then I called her from the testing site, and I was like, "So I'm a
Oh,
nurse practitioner now?" And she's
and she's
like,
like,
"Wait,
"What?"
what?" She didn't believe it. She literally had to check my location. She was like, "Wait, you're at a testing center." And I was like, "Yes, I
They have your
did."
location. That's how much
Yes.
you guys love each
Oh,
other. I
yeah.
mean,
Oh, yeah.
it really is like a family in
Mhm.
there,
Oh,
and
yeah.
this is such a testament to never giving up,
No,
to following your dreams, and how
you can
perseverance
do
pays off.
anything,
You can do anything you put your mind to.
and everything is figure outable, like,
Figure outable.
everything. Like, and that's one thing if I don't like, my whole life, everybody's like, "Oh, Lord, Morgan's starting something else." It's not that I always start something else, but if I don't know how to do something, it drives me a little crazy that I don't know how to do it.
Mhm, yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, "Well, I could probably figure that out," and so far, it hadn't let me down. So far,
There you go.
everything's figure outable. So, I
I
don't know
love
if
it.
I hope that encourages somebody out there listening because you can do anything. You can do anything.
I love
So
that. I absolutely love that.
mhm.
Well, you obviously have so many people that are so proud of you who've been cheering you on,
Mhm.
and
Takes a village.
it does. It really does. And so I'm super excited because now I know you're not going
Oh,
anywhere.
no.
You're there to
Mm-mm. Oh,
stay.
yeah. Yeah, I never wa and that was always the thing. I was like, I mean, I wanna do this, but, like, I don't wanna go anywhere else. So,
Yeah.
luckily, there's room for me there, and Kim and I make a great team, and, so a lot of our patients have been like, "Oh, what are you gonna do now?" I'm like, "Oh, nothing. This was always the plan."
This is what I'm
Like,
gonna do. I'm
yeah.
gonna do this,
Yeah. This was the
but I'm
plan.
just gonna get to do more.
That's right. That's right.
So I love that.
Thank you
Congratulations.
so much.
And this wasn't really an ad read for women's wellness
No.
as much as it is
I
like,
know, I was gonna say.
yeah, I mean, you overcame so many
Yeah.
obstacles, and so when anybody feels like they are up against something or they're facing something that they can't get through or that they can't
Mhm.
overcome, your story proves that yeah, you
Oh,
can.
you really can. Yeah.
Sometimes you got to put your big girl
Mhm.
panties on and keep pushing forward,
Yes.
keep persevering, but you can do
You
it.
can do it. You can do anything, for sure.
Absolutely. So, tell us about. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. I've decided I'm going to solve a murder now.
I knew you would. Did you go look up that story I
I
told you?
did. I
Okay.
did. No, I ordered the book,
Okay. I was
so
gonna say
it's
it was a
coming.
book, and I
Yes.
guess it just got published. I don't know why it all of a sudden has come back around because it was
Yeah,
an
because the
older
book just came out. I
time.
guess they
Okay.
finally got the book
Yeah.
published. But so now I have decided I'm going to solve a murder because I mean, whose bucket list is that not on? And now that
Right.
you find out that there's moms out there who just decide one day they're gonna
Carpool crimes or what were they called? It was
the
something
car, yeah, something like the
some
carpool mafia or something like
yeah,
that. I
something
can't
like
remember.
that.
But yeah, so last night I'm looking up these cases in Mississippi and I found one and I'm not going to tell anybody what it is yet because I got to talk to all the people
Yeah.
and get all the facts and bring this cold case back to light and I think we can solve it.
Okay.
So you gave me the ammunition to solve a murder.
I was worried I might have done that. As soon as I said it, I was like, "Oh, Lindsay's gonna be okay, she's gonna go solve a murder now."
I mean, if those moms can do it,
I literally just said you can do anything.
yeah,
So,
that's
there
true,
you go.
and I am so obviously so obsessed with the whole true crime thing,
Mhm.
you know, Clay and Sean make fun of me for it, and but I think that's a lot of women, I think we're just intrigued by
Oh, yeah.
people's brains and how they
Mhm.
work and figuring out why somebody would do something like this and who could have done it.
Oh, yeah.
I never was able to figure out the game Clue,
I was just thinking the game Clue,
but
yeah. Mhm.
I feel like I would have been good at it if I ever could have figured out
Like,
how to play it.
I have you ever done one of those, like, dinners?
Like those
Murder
mystery
mystery
I haven't
dinners?
done one of those, but you know what I love are escape rooms.
Okay, see, I haven't even done one of those. Are they like you're just trying to figure out a puzzle to get out of them?
Yeah, somewhat, but they have these different themes.
Okay.
Like you have to figure some of them are about murder, like figure out who did it, and some of them are like Sean and I did one, and we're stuck in the '80s, and you had to figure a way out of the room to get out of the '80s. But honestly, I was kind of like, I like the '80s. Can
You're like,
we go back?
How
Like
do
we
we
can
do that?"
stay here.
That's so funny.
And then we did
This
one
would
with
be fun.
zombies when we were in Colorado visiting his sister, and we had to like find the anecdote to save people from all becoming
Okay, I
zombies.
might would like that. Do
Oh,
we still have a
so
place
much
around here?
fun. Yeah, there's several of
Okay.
them. They're so much fun. I love doing those, but I think I would really love the murder
Oh,
mystery dinners too. I've heard of
I
those.
think that would be fun too. I think there was a group that used to do those locally. I don't know if they still do or
We need
not.
to find one of
Yeah,
those and do that.
yeah.
We're gonna take our first break, but when we come back, we are gonna talk about all the things of we're sitting here telling you can do anything you want to, like we're super moms. I mean, not really, but
No,
sometimes I
no
think
cake.
sometimes I think the school thinks that we are.
Oh,
But
for sure.
but we'll talk about all those things. Y'all stay with us. We will be right back here after this break on the Lindsay Beckham Show. Welcome back into the Lindsay Beckham Show. 601-879-0002 is the number to call in and talk with Morgan and I. If you have anything you would like to say, get any opinions off your chest or cuss us out or praise us, whichever one, we'll take it. We will take it. It was so funny because as we were going into commercial break, we both looked down at our phones and both of us have text or calls from the
Yep,
school,
both.
from one of the schools.
Like, just a day in the life.
Yeah, I mean, it never ends. And Morgan texted me and she said, "Is there, any certain topic you want to talk about?" I said, "Well, I'll tell you what I want to rant about is the fact that we are what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks
Yeah.
into school now, and we have already been sent home this packet with these raffle tickets for us to sell that aren't cheap, by the way."
Mhm.
And I'm thinking do they not realize that, first of all, we're busy single moms. We don't have time. Nobody has time for this.
Mm-mm.
Second of all, we just spent all this money on school supplies and technology fees and room
Mhm.
fees and art fees. And it's like you're feed to
Yeah.
death.
Well, and I'll say this too, because I remember being in school and getting the fundraisers, but that was back when, like, I didn't even live in a neighborhood, okay? So, I lived in Madison, like, behind Ace Hardware, so those streets over there, but, like, I would take my fundraiser and I would go door to door,
Mhm.
and, I would actually work for my fundraising dollars, but these days, it's like you can't even send your kids out door to
No,
door.
it's not safe to
Yeah,
do that.
so
And then, when there's multiple, like I have 3 in elementary school, and they want them to sell at least I think it was 14 or 16 tickets each, which it seems outrageous.
Mhm.
They give them like a week and a half, and
And you're like, "I'm pulling from the same pool for all of the children."
yeah,
Like, I only
it's
know
like
probably 14 altogether.
yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
it's like I can't
Mm-mm,
buy them.
mm-mm.
And then here's the part that really infuriates me is that the elementary school they're at now does this big celebration party for the ones who sold the amount of tickets they want you to sell.
Yeah.
But the kids that don't sell that many don't
They
get
don't
to
get to
go.
participate, yeah.
And so it's like they're left out and they're sitting in a classroom having to read a book while all the other
When they're
kids
so
are
little,
getting
it's
to.
not their it's not their
Absolutely, it's
fault.
not their fault. And I don't live in a
It's
neighborhood
our fault.
now.
It's my fault. You know
Well,
what I
I
mean?
mean, it's
Like,
the school's fault for
right.
putting this on
But I'm
us.
like, it's not them, you know?
I think that's the part that is ridiculous.
Mhm.
If you opt we're in public school here. If you don't have time or money
Yeah,
to do something like this, to get your kids out on the streets
yeah.
to sell these tickets, the kids shouldn't be
Right.
punished.
Well, and they already get the prizes from the fundraiser. Like, that's supposed to be the motivation for the children.
Right,
You
and those
know?
prizes
Ye
they're so cheap. They're
I
so
know, and I
ridiculous.
know. One of mine came home with popcorn, and I'm like he's like, if I have" it was something crazy, like 60 orders or something, I get a $50 Amazon gift card. I'm like, "How would I give you a $50 Amazon
Yeah,
gift card?"
yeah, exactly.
I mean,
I'd
I know that
rather do
doesn't help
that.
the school. I know that doesn't help the school, but, I mean, I just wonder I feel like they should also have, like, a alternative donation option
Mhm.
because, like, how much does the school really get off of, like, 1 order of the popcorn, you
Right.
know? Like, how much are they really getting off of 10 orders of the popcorn? Let let I would rather just I mean, I'm a single mom, I don't have the money just to be throwing out everywhere, but if it was like, "Okay, you can either go sell 60 popcorn bags or whatever, or donate this, and the school gets
I
100% of
think
that donation," you know what I mean?
I think a lot of parents
Like,
would
I'd be like,
opt out
"Just do
yeah, would
that."
opt for that.
Yeah,
That would be the thing they would rather do, especially than, your kid be left out of something.
right. Well, and that's another thing, like, the homecoming's coming up.
Mhm.
And the week-long, like, dress-up
Dress up
day.
days.
So
Constant dress up
and,
days.
I guess it was a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, the easiest way to get these costumes is to go to the costume store, and it's, like, right around Halloween time usually, and so those stores are up and going, and it's so much money because, like you, I've got 3 in elementary school too, and 1 in
Costumes
middle
aren't cheap.
school. No, and, like, even dressing up, I'm like, I think that throughout the school year or the beginning of the school year, like, some of their art projects should be creating their costumes for the dress up
I
days.
think that's a great
Bring home
idea.
ec back into the elementary school, like,
Absolutely.
glue
Something they
buttons on, like, and I will we can donate scraps and glitter and that kinda stuff, but, like, let them make their own costumes for the dress up days, and that way that the kids whose parents can't go buy the stuff or won't go do the stuff, the parents some parents just are not gonna help their kids do that kinda stuff.
Mhm.
They're not left out with no costumes,
There have been
you know?
days that I have kept my kids home from school just because we didn't have
Mhm,
anything in the house that would work for what they needed to wear to dress up that day.
mhm,
I didn't want them to feel left out, and I didn't have money to go buy it
yeah.
at the time. It was
Well
like, "We're either gonna eat,
mhm,
I'm either gonna be able to
that's
feed
right.
you, or I'm gonna be able to buy you a costume
Yeah,
to wear to school
yeah.
that you're never going to ever wear again."
I'll tell you my secret. This is terrible, but yes, bribery. Um,
I love it.
but I have, like, real talks with my kids, like,
Mhm.
they're young, but I think that there's some value in just, like, "Hey, "Babe, look, I don't have the money to go do all this, or I don't have the time to go do all this. Y'all see mom is, like,
Stretched to
so
the max, stretched thin.
tired, and I love y'all so much, though, but, how about this? If you're okay with not dressing up, not having the costume, like, y'all don't make me do that, okay?
Please don't make me.
We will go eat at El Ranchito at the Mexican restaurant an extra time this week, okay?
More
Because
happy plates.
that's yeah, like, that's for both of us, that's for everybody,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Dinner, and it's dinner, like, we're gonna have dinner anyways, and that's something that they like to do, but you'll also can't make me feel bad about it either.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't guilt trip me later on.
you be okay with not dressing up and don't make me feel bad about it, and we can go eat Mexican, and I'll tell you this, though, usually when the Mexican restaurant comes out, they're happy, it doesn't matter. Like, they're
Mhm.
like, "Mom, I don't," and now I do have boys, so it may be different having girls,
I
but,
know all 5 of mine are
like
good with
yeah,
Mexican.
I'm like, "You know, how about that?" Like, be okay with not dressing up and don't make me feel like a crappy mom, and let's just go have a family dinner and have a good time
Maybe
at
I'll throw
Mexican.
in $10 of Robux
Yes.
and you know?
Oh, yeah, you could throw in look, I told mine last night, I was like, "I've got one chore that I will give $3 that y'all can spend on Roblox, because like, I'll Apple Cash mine, and they'll use their Apple Cash on Roblox. So I'm like, "I got $3 for this chore." And it was honestly, it was cleaning out a cooler that I had been dreading cleaning out because it's been sitting so long, and it would just have water in it, but I'm like, "I really don't wanna do that."
Yeah.
And so I'm like, "I will pay somebody $3. This is a $3 chore, that's fine, to go clean this cooler out."
Or they like fighting over
2
who's
of
gonna
them
get
did it. 2 of them fought over it. I was like, "Okay, I'll give y'all both $3. Y'all clean that out, and then y'all come help me take this trash out, and then y'all can each have $3."
see,
Like, there we
everybody
go.
wins. Everybody
Yes.
wins. And, I love Christmas is my favorite
Oh,
time of year. I
me too.
I love Christmas. And so I get excited when I see the elementary school because it is decked
Mhm,
out at
mhm.
Madison Station. I mean, they spare no cost.
Yeah,
It is a winter wonderland when you walk in the
it's so
doors of that
fun.
school. It is so fun, but also it's like, it's not really what they're here for
No,
either.
yeah, that's true
So,
too.
I mean, if this is coming from me participating in fundraisers and dressing my kids up all the time, like, I we can do without a little of it,
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
we don't need
That's true too.
all of it. Although I know it is fun for the
Well,
kids,
I know, and that's kinda, you know, probably not raving a review of what I'm about to say, but I understand wanting to make school fun for kids, but it's school.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Why
like
are you really there?
yeah, like, what are they gonna do, not go? If it's not like, if you know what I mean? Like, if all the
Right.
fun's not there, but I don't know, I just think sometimes it's a little much, like, it's a little distracting even.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Like, elementary age kids come home and say, "I'm not going back to school because they didn't decorate as much for Christmas this year." Like,
Right.
that's not gonna
No,
happen. And I
no.
wonder if they even really notice it
Appreciate
or
it?
appreciate it as much
Yeah,
as, like, the parents
probably
do.
not.
Is it
I
more of
know.
a show-off thing for the
Mhm.
PTO?
Right.
You know what I mean? I'd rather them spend that money on, teacher supplies for their classroom because some of these teachers are going out and
I
buying their own
know, they're having to go
stuff,
out of their own pockets for a lot of things,
which is
and
wrong.
I know, and but yet somehow, like, we still have to spend so much on school supplies, but then they're still having to go out of their pockets too so
Mhm.
much, and it's just like but I'm with you, like, I'd rather the classrooms be decorated than the hallways be decorated. I'd rather like, I don't know. I
And I
just
think
think
you made a great point. I mean, when they are doing things like home ec activities and
mhm,
being able to make their own costumes, that's something that they're learning that they're
mhm.
gonna be able to use later on in life. That's something
And a
can take
pride
with
aspect, like,
you.
I made this one, like, and
Right.
having a whatever the theme is, but, like, we were on talking about Christmas, but, like, Christmas in October or September, whatever, I don't know, whatever dress up days they might have, but it's like, then have contests on, like, who created the
Most
tackiest
creative.
whatever,
Yeah.
or the creative, whatever. Do that instead of, like, us having to go out and provide these and it's every day, though. It's, like, something different
It
every day.
feels like
And then
it.
you have if you've got multiples in different grades, they're not the same.
No, they're
They're not
not.
the same dress up
No, they're
days.
not. And then they have, like, field day, and they're all
Yeah.
different colors,
Mhm.
and yeah, it really aggravates me too. This sounds really bad. I'll probably catch some flack for this, but the projects, are they learning anything?
Okay,
I'm
so
the one who's up at midnight doing a project, gluing hot gluing stuff onto a poster board.
yeah, so maybe my kids are failing school because I haven't had any projects lately, and I'm like, "Did I not do my homework?" Like, have I did I don't know.
No, no, they
But
wait
so
until the night before it's due and
well,
tell you
they've
at 10
I
o'clock.
think well, so 3 of mine are at Madison Crossing, and I think that maybe they've calmed down on the outside of school projects. Like, I think we might have, like, one in the, like, fall semester. Like, I know we do a gingerbread man at some point, and maybe that's not even this grade. I don't even know. I can't remember. But I feel like I'm every year, at least at some point, I'm decorating a gingerbread cutout. And then maybe we do one thing in the spring. But so I am grateful of that because I was thinking about that. I was thinking about when I was in school. And did you grow up around here?
Yazoo. I was
Okay.
in private school, so it was a
So
little
I
different.
just remember, like, having to build a whole solar system, and
That
then
sounds miserable.
I know, and then I remember, like, Arctic Day, I think that was, like, 5th grade, and having to, like now that was, like, an in-class project, but we had, like, literally turned the whole classroom into an Arctic tundra with, like, the cardboard mountains and animals and things like that, but this was cool, and I don't know what made me think about this. It's funny we're having this conversation, but, an egg drop. So everybody you had to and I guess maybe there were just less kids back then because we did not have as many elementary schools as we do now out in
Mhm.
Madison, but everybody had an egg and you had to use whatever you wanted to use, and what they did was they took the news helicopter, and they took all the eggs up in the helicopter and dropped them out of the helicopter over Liberty Park, and you had to go find your thing and see if your egg broke.
Oh, that's
So,
cool.
I do remember that, and, like, my kids aren't doing that. I'm like, "That's a project I would like to do." You know,
That's
like,
yeah, that
that's
sounds fun.
fun,
Think
but
of a way to
yeah,
keep it from
yeah. Like, I
cracking.
remember I think I put mine in, like, bubble wrap and then a big, styrofoam ball, and then I had, like, half, we had cut, ping pong balls and stuck them all
So
around the
that's critical
edges.
thinking skills
Yeah,
right
and
there.
then they all dropped, and then, like but I'm like, I guess there just were less kids back then too, because now I think of the class sizes, and I'm like, "Ugh, I don't know how they would manage all the children."
Yeah,
But
that's true,
because
that's
they'll have to
true.
run out and go find their egg, but I don't
They'd
know.
have to take small groups at a time.
Mhm, mhm. But those were fun and critical thinking and, like so, just like I said, like, making the costumes and then, like, that kinda stuff, but, like, some of it's a little, like
Some of it gets to be a little much,
yeah.
and then I see projects and I'm like, "God, the glitter that's gonna be all over my house after this,
Yeah.
that I'm never gonna be able to get out of
Right,
here."
right.
All right, we gotta
Yes.
take our next commercial break, but y'all stay with us, and I'm sure that we'll be back to criticize the school some more because evidently
That's
that's what
what we're
I'm
doing
gonna
today.
yeah, yeah. We will be right back here on The Lindsay Beckham Show. All the me We are back here on The Lindsay Beckham Show where Morgan and I are just reminiscing about school
Yes.
projects and how different things have kind of taken us aback. Like the
Mhm.
I was telling Morgan the Valentine boxes in Madison schools. So the first year I lived here and my oldest was in kindergarten and they had to bring a Valentine's Day box. Well, I just bought a plastic heart-shaped box from Walmart.
Mhm. No.
No,
Mm-mm.
no. Oh, were we embarrassed
Mhm.
when we walked in and saw the extravagant
Mhm.
Valentine boxes that no way those kindergartners made those
Oh,
things.
no. Those are no. Moms.
Yeah. So then Pinterest became my best
Oh,
friend,
yeah.
and the next year we had a extraordinary castle
Yeah. I feel like you have to have a Pinterest account in order to be a mother.
in Madison. Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
you just have to.
I'm telling you, you'll get left behind
Mhm. For
real
sure.
quick.
And, I try to, like, really okay, kinda taking a turn here, but I think kids don't get their feelings hurt enough by their parents. Does that
Yeah,
make
I
sense?
completely agree. Completely agree.
Like, talking about being embarrassed or even talking about, like, being
We
bullied
coddle
or
entirely too
whatever, I'm
much.
like, nobody honestly, and I feel confident saying this, nobody's gonna hurt my children's feelings because, like, nobody's gonna say anything that their mother hasn't told them already.
Well, we were talking the other day, and you said something that I thought was great, and it was like one of the kids wanted to wear a shirt that
Oh, yeah,
tell
speaking
that
of
story.
talking about dress up days,
Yes.
that was night, so my oldest, and they had had, like, '80s or '90s day, one of the dress up days. I'd gone and bought the costume, And it was just a simple, it had like the, Saved by the Bell kind of loud print on it with the
Uh-huh.
squigglies and whatnot, and he wore it and it was fine, and anyways, he loved that. Well, this was like months later on a random Wednesday, like for no good reason, and he's getting ready for school and he comes out and he's wearing that shirt, and I'm like, is it a dress up day today?" And he's like, "No, ma'am." I'm like, "Okay, so you're gonna wear that shirt today?" And he was like, "Yes, ma'am." And I was like, "Okay." He was like, "Do you not think it looks good? Do you like it?" And I was like, "I mean, I love it, bud. Like, I think it's fun. But I'm just letting you know, like, that's not a typical shirt that the guys are wearing in 5th grade,
Mhm.
okay?" And he's like, "Well, okay." And I was like, "Well, I'm just saying, here's the deal. I love it, and if you like it, even better, and I want you to wear whatever you want to wear, whatever
Mhm.
you feel good in, and I want you to but you're gonna have to stand up for yourself if somebody has something to say about it."
You
And
can't
he's
run
like,
away
"Yeah," and
crying.
he's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Well, if somebody makes fun of you for wearing that shirt, what are you gonna say?" And he said, "Well, I'm gonna say like, well, I like this shirt." And I said, "Good. That's what you should say. I
Mhm.
like this shirt, and you stand behind that. Like, if you're gonna go outside of what everybody sees as normal,
Right.
that is fine, and I love that for you. But you're gonna be confident about it, and you're gonna be tough about it, and nobody's gonna make fun of you or make you feel bad for being you. Like, we're gonna buck up on that, okay?" And he's like, "Yes, ma'am. I mean, but I don't think anybody's gonna make fun of me." And I was like, "I hope they don't. I hope they don't." But whatever it is in life, like, I just feel like if you don't prepare your kids,
Yep.
and you know what your kids are and are not.
Mhm.
Like, I love Knight. He's the nerdier one, and I've worried about him having friends probably his whole life because I'm like, he's just the quiet kid and he's the nerdy kid and, all these kinds of things. And I remember when he started in 6th grade and we made it about a weekend and I asked him, I was like, "Hey, bud, do you have any friends? Have you made any friends?" Because it's 2 schools coming to one, middle
Mhm.
school.
Right.
And he's like, "I mean, not really." And I'm cooking dinner and I'm like, "Okay,
You
so."
were probably stressing about it more than he
Oh,
was.
yeah. And I was like, "So, like, you know, you don't talk to anybody at school?" He's like, "Well, yes, ma'am, I do, but, like, I mean, I just don't, like, I mean, I guess I have some, like, friends. I guess we're friends. I don't know." And I was like, "Okay, so, well," and I just said it. I said, "Are you being the weird kid?" And he kinda got all, like, red cheeked
Yeah.
and started giggling. He's like, "I'm not the weird kid." And I was like, "Are you sure? Because I think you might be being the weird kid."
Which is okay.
And that's okay. And I was like, "Mom's weird." I have, like I've had, like, 3 friends my whole life, and 2 of them were obligated because one was my sister and one was my cousin, okay? So, like, I get it. Like, if you just haven't met anybody that you care enough about to even hang out with outside of school, cool. Like, that's fine. But if we don't have friends and we're sad about it and we're gonna be upset about it, we need to talk about that, okay? We need to, like, see why we might not have friends. I'm not saying that it's other kids' problems or their fault. Like, maybe we're being the weird kid. Maybe that's the problem, and we can see how we're being the weird kid, and we can grow into being the weirdest kid and being the coolest weirdest kid,
As long as you're okay with as long as
Yeah.
you are okay with who
Yeah,
you
like,
are.
let's just know what we are
You
and,
know what the problem is today is that kids could say that, and there are a lot of parents out there who would be on the phone trying to find a
Mhm,
counselor.
mhm,
"Let's find a counselor. Let's talk about this. Let's
yeah,
see what's wrong." Well, there's nothing wrong.
there's nothing wrong. Kids are okay being weird. Kids are okay and, like, Night and this was another thing because I was worried too if he had, maybe ADD because he does get lost in his thoughts and everything, and so one day I was asking him, I was like, "Dude, do you ever find that you, like, don't finish your work on time or you feel like you're struggling finishing your work?" Now, he is a straight 100s kid, okay?
Mhm.
And he's like, "No, ma'am. I mean, I do fine." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. I was just wondering because, sometimes kids, might have to take medicine to keep them on track to like, keep going and get stuff done the way they're supposed to get it done." And he was like, "Oh, no, I'm good." And he was like, "Now," and this is so funny to me. He said, he said, "Now, I very much like being inside my own head." And I kind of jerked around. I said, "Oh, do you?" And he said, "Oh, yes, ma'am." And I said, "Is it just like cool stuff going on in there?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, I get that because I am inattentive ADD and I could stare at a chipped paint speck on a wall for 12 hours and not have moved. But in this brain, I have solved all the world's problems. Okay. So unfortunately, he gets that from me. But I'm just saying, like, some kids are okay and we need to let them be okay. And we need to
Right.
create the acceptance for them to grow into
Who they are.
who they are
Whoever that
and
may
be
be.
confident in that. Like,
Exactly. My middle one she's that socially awkward
mm-hmm.
one and has never had a whole lot of friends. But that's just who she
Yeah.
is. And I think I worried about her to the point where I would make myself sick over it,
Mm-hmm. But
but
she's
nothing was
fine.
bothering her.
Just like, Mom, I don't even like these people.
It's like I've got this. Like
Yeah.
I am who I am and
Yeah.
I'm good with who I
Yeah.
am. And I I don't she didn't
Uh-huh.
care if
No.
she's weird to some people. Like
Well,
it doesn't bother her.
and to another aspect of it is like, if you know who you are and you know things about yourself, then when you bring them to the forefront, nobody can hurt your feelings about it. Like, I
That's
remember
exactly
having to
right.
get up and do public speaking, and I like was so nervous about it because I was like, my face is going to turn red. I'm going to get beet red. Like, it's just something that would happen. And now here I am, on a on a radio station. You know, but the first time I got up to do a public speaking, thing, before I was like, "Don't start the clock yet," because it was graded. I was like, "My face is gonna turn really red, and it is what it is, but we're gonna get through this. Okay. Okay, now go." Nobody's gonna make fun of me because my face is red, because I know my face is red. I know it's gonna happen.
Right.
Like, I know myself, and it's gonna be alright. We're gonna get through this, okay? And so, like, I just feel like knowing yourself, being confident in yourself,
Mhm.
it and
Being good
instead
with who you are instead of what
Instead
society
of
thinks you
trying
should
to
be.
fix the other
Right.
guy who, maybe cracking the jokes or making fun or picking fun, it's like, "Buddy, you can't hurt my feelings. You can't hurt my feelings."
You know what's crazy, Morgan, is that when we look at kids like that, the ones who are confident in who they are,
Mhm.
even if they do seem to be a
Even if
little bit the
they're odd.
outcast or a
Yeah.
little bit the loner, if they're confident in who they are, they have a much better experience than the ones who are
Trying to fit
trying to fit
in.
in, wanting to be what this other person's highlight reel
Well,
is, and
and
being jealous and wanting more,
yes, and that's the
constantly
thing,
comparing
and
yourself.
then you get caught into that, like, following the herd and
Mhm.
getting into bad habits and things like that, and it's all about trying to be accepted by people that you don't need to be accepted
That
by.
don't really matter in your life.
No. We had, a neighbor has some kids, and they were all playing basketball, some neighborhood kids. Well, my kids went out there, and for whatever reason, back and forth, whether they're nice to each other or not nice to each other, depends on the day.
Kids.
Yeah. And so 3 of them went out, and 2 of them came back in. And I was like, "What's going on?" And my oldest said, "Oh, well, they said we couldn't play, but I mean, we could watch if we wanted to, but they wouldn't let us play." And I said, "Okay, well, rude, but okay." And I was like, "Well, where's Banks?" "Oh, well, he stayed." And I look out my window across the street, and my son is sitting on the side of the driveway by himself while the rest of the kids are playing the game. And this was a life lesson for him. I walked over there and I said, "Banks, come on." And I told him right then and there, I said, "Hey, bud, we are never going to be anywhere that we are unwelcome or unwanted ever, no matter what. It doesn't matter
Mm,
if it's a game. It doesn't matter if it's a social club or a party. You are valuable, and you will find the people that value you, and they are not it today. Come
yeah,
on."
that's a great lesson. That's a wonderful lesson for him to learn,
Mhm.
especially and that was a perfect example to show him that
Yeah.
lesson. We gotta take our last commercial break, but y'all stay with us. We will be right back here to wrap things up on this Tuesday, not
Yes.
Monday.
Oh, it's not my day.
I know, on the Lindsay Beckham Show. We are back here on the Lindsay Beckham Show for the last few seconds. Let's see, we've got 40 seconds left.
Ah.
Morgan, tell everybody where they can find you.
Yes, you can find us at womenswellnessms.com, or you can text us at 601-300-5886.
And then you have your podcast.
Yes, Get Real with Morgan Charlie.
These will be uploaded there
Yep.
as well as
Yep.
they will be to mine,
Uh-huh. Mhm.
the Lindsay Beckham Show. And you also are going to be here on Tuesdays. You can
Every
find her
Tuesday.
here on Tuesdays. And you have a personal, it's just Morgan
Yeah, it's
Charlie.
just Morgan Charlie. You can find me everywhere, Morgan Charlie.
You can find her everywhere there and everywhere at Women's Wellness.
That's right.
And we will be back here next Tuesday. We'll see you guys then.